Oh my God, DeDe got a podcast?
What?
DeDe got a podcast.
What's the tea? What's the vibe? What's the hype? Yeah, we live. Talk a little this, a little bit of that, a little bit of love, a little bit of ratchet. That's DeDe. Go DeDe. Go DeDe. Go DeDe. You a bad bitch. You a savage. Making money is a habit.
Welcome to DeDe's Dope Podcast, everybody. I'm excited today. Well, first of all, I always tell people this is the podcast where you can catch a laugh and you'll get the tea, okay? And you also, I'll get a little tipsy on it too. First of all, I'm happy to have this man. I'm so proud of him. I have watched him grow even more and more and bigger as a fashion designer. Stephen, well, I always tell people, you introduce yourself.
Stephen Goudeau.
I love that. Their name is Goudeau. Stephen, first of all, welcome to my podcast.
Thanks for having me, DeDe.
I'm proud of you. Stephen, we met how many years ago? The first time we met had to be what?
It's been about 8 or 9 years ago.
Yep.
8 or 9 years.
I know, and I've been watching you and following you and watching you grow, and we're going to talk about the fact that you're going to be at Fashion Week in New York. That's huge.
The return.
The return. Okay, hold on. But before we do anything, I need some wine, right?
Yeah.
I've been up all day. I do my morning show and I wake up at 3:15 a.m. and I've been up since. And now I'm wired. You ever do that where you stay up all day and then you end up being wired?
Yeah. I slept 2 hours last night.
Oh.
So, yeah.
What were you doing?
I mean, I'm just up. You know, it's Fashion Week coming. My mind all over the place.
Oh,
you know?
wow. Okay, here's what I always tell people. We do drink wine here, but not out of wine glasses, out of some red cups.
All right.
And it's warm wine.
All right.
And when I get Mary J. Blige to sponsor with, because I've already talked to them about it, we'll get Mary J. Blige's wine and some others. But we are right now getting ready to open up. Look, this is a regular old twist off. This is so sophisticated, ain't it? Here.
There you go.
Yep, I will serve my guests first. This is so sophisticated. I know it. I'm giving you wine in a red cup that is warm. But
I'm used to it.
You got it? Okay.
You know where I'm from, right?
Where?
Shreveport, Louisiana.
Stephen, I didn't know you were from Shreveport.
Out of Shreveport with Bay.
You went? Oh, my God. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So you all knew each other back then?
Well, yeah, I used to be in club. He's the hottest DJ, of course. You know, back in the club, Coco Pellis. I know.
Yep, everybody knows Coco Pellis. Yeah. Baby. Okay. So y'all go way back. Okay. So let's talk about you and how you got into fashion.
Honestly, DeDe, so growing up, I was always creative. We did the cheers.
Cheers to you in Fashion Week. Back again, we'll talk about that. But how'd you get into it? Because you're good.
So basically, growing up as a child, I was just always artistic. I really wanted to be a horror film director. Exactly what Jordan Peele is doing is what I really, really wanted to do. So basically, my family, my mom and dad, which they're big fans of yours.
Shout out.
Yeah, so they were like big on fashion. Like my dad, he was the type, he would step out, back in the 80s, he have a mesh tank top with some hammer pants, and some cowboy boots, and a yellow bug.
Come on.
My daddy was.
Come on, daddy.
Yeah, he was the one that like, everybody wanted what he had on. My mom, she was always nice tailored. She had her blazers on and her brooches. So, they were always into fashion. Of course, they kept me fly. So growing up, I just had that eye for fashion, and then I would help people. People would come to me and critique them on what to wear. Stephen, should I wear this? Should I wear that? They say you should get into fashion.
So wait, were you dressing nice in high school?
Yeah,
though?
I always I would have stuff that people would want. Like I would go out of town and buy stuff. Were
you an only child? How y'all had good money? Oh, that's why.
I was been working since I was 14 years old. But I was spoiled. I'm the only child. But
wait, what was your first job at 14?
Albertsons. I was a courtesy clerk at Albertsons grocery store.
Dang, guess what my first job, I was putting flyers on people's cars in our neighborhood. Yeah, I sure did. But anyway, so you were at Albertsons, and so you had money, and you were able to go shopping.
Yeah.
And because your mom and dad were into fashion, like if they went somewhere and out of town, you could go. Is that what it was?
Yeah,
they would take you?
I would buy stuff that, of course, in Shreveport, we were limited on fashion. But, when I went out of town, I used to get stuff that we couldn't get. And, I just took a nature to it. And so, like I said, I started with T-shirts. I just started I had a little line called G Ink, like Goudeau ink. And so it grew, and then I found out that, hey, I didn't want to do T-shirts, so I started learning how to sew.
Wait a minute. Here's the other thing. I know, I don't mean to stop you.
No, go ahead.
But all this time I've known you, I thought you had made up your name, your last name.
Everybody thinks that.
And that's your real name?
And I hated my name in high school.
What?
People used to make fun of my last name. They used to call me Good Old Boy. But, and now it's worth money.
Perfect. It's unbelievable. It sounds like the fashion designer.
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead, finish. I didn't mean to cut you off. So you're making T-shirts.
No, so T-shirts, and then my first dress was a homecoming dress that I did for my cousin. That was in 1999. So then I said, hey, maybe this could be something. So I got into that, and I went to school at the University of New Orleans. I studied communications, PR. I wanted to do public relations. I did internship in Q93. Actually. So I did that for,
Oh my gosh.
So I started in radio.
You did some radio stuff.
Yeah, I did.
Steven, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
okay.
I got a history. So then I moved to, after Katrina, I moved to Houston and I worked at Gap and I did visual merchandising. So I got into fashion even more, and that's when I started my own clothing line. And I started learning how to sew, like I said, and I did basically just designs. I used to do clubs and fashion shows. And, you had to start somewhere.
Yeah.
So I think around 2010 is when I got noticed. I was a brand called Studio 6 Cents. That was the name of my brand. And back then, because I never wanted no one to know I was the designer, because I felt that me being a man of color, I wouldn't be accepted into the fashion industry.
Got it.
So around 2010, Studio 6 Cents, I went to New York Fashion Week. I showed at New York Fashion Week. Studio 6 Cents. So my first show, I'll never forget, I never wanted to walk out of the show. I didn't want people to know that I was a man of color. So the producers were like, get your ass out there. So they pushed me out. So if you go back and look at the first YouTube video, you can see my eyes big as hell. Like,
And how old were you?
how old was I?
20.
29.
Oh, so I was going to say 20.
How old do
Okay.
you think I am?
I'm thinking 37.
Yeah, you close.
Yeah, you
you
about
close.
36, 37?
Later. Long.
No way.
Older, yeah.
Okay, well, anyway, you live. Black don't crack.
But yeah, what made me just say, hey, I can actually do this, when like I said, I walked out.
Your eyes are like, you're like, oh, I can't believe they pushed me out here.
I looked out on my front row of my fashion show. I saw Waka Flocka. Waka Flocka, when I walked out, his eyes got big. And I realized at the end of the show, he came to me, said, when you walked out, I was not expecting a brother. He said, I thought you were going to be a short Chinese Asian lady.
Wow.
He came out with this collection. But anyway, so after that, my name, it got a lot of buzz. They were like, well, who is the person behind the Studio 6 Cents? And my team was like, well, your name is getting more buzz than the brand. Maybe we should look into changing your name. So I sat down for 2 years. I stopped designing because, again, that's not what I wanted.
Wow.
But then I had to look at, I have a team, and it's more people. It's more than just me. So I decided to come up with the name Stephen Goudeau.
Your name?
Stephen.
Oh, okay.
My name is Steven.
Oh, got it.
So
Okay.
it's kind of like my alter ego. So my name is Stephen, but it's Stephen Goudeau, and I'm
That's
happy
how it
I
started.
made that decision. Yeah.
Okay, so you did your first time at Fashion Week, and you're looking. You make me think, and I can't wait to talk about Fashion Week and to talk about that because I watched Halston. Did you watch that on?
I did on Netflix.
Loved it.
Yeah, it was good.
Oh my God, we got to get into that. Okay, but I loved it, and looking at how. When they did that big thing, what was it in Paris or where they had all the designers in town, I think it was, and how they had to plan that and what could go wrong, but you still have to get out there and make it happen and stuff like that. And I know you've had those with fashion shows, right? Where sometimes some of the clothes you've designed, something goes wrong and you got to, in that split second, change it up.
Yeah. A lot of things that goes on behind the scenes, it looks good in front. A lot of people never know what happened behind the scenes. Right.
Okay, so you started in, and let me just say this about Shreveport. Shreveport got a lot of talent. Bebe is very talented. We know that. One of my good friends and who I just love, who does my makeup all the time, is Candace. I don't know, Candace Webb.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Candace.
my girl. Yeah.
Let's see, who else? Chan. You don't know Chan? Chan is a friend. She's from Shreveport, I believe. I thought she was.
What does she do?
I don't really know. Chan is.
I probably know about her face.
You know her face, yeah. But every time I meet somebody from Shreveport, you guys are very, very creative.
Yeah. We have a lot of talent in Shreveport. Yeah. That's one thing I can say about 318. We have a lot of talent.
Yeah, so that's great. Okay, so now we fast forward, and people are saying they know your name, and you're doing so well. What was your first collection? What was it like? Like, tell me what you know.
At Stephen Goudeau?
Stephen Goudeau.
So at Stephen Goudeau, when I came out, I think my first thing I was known for was custom wedding gowns.
Yeah.
Which I didn't want to get locked in that box, but hey, that's where the money is, custom wedding gowns. So over the years, people will come to me to do a custom wedding gown. So that's what's so significant about me returning to New York Fashion Week. I get my own show, so I get to show my versatility as a designer. I get to show, I can do couture, I can do wedding, I can do ready to wear, I can do leisure. So it's like I'm going to pair. You might see a yoga top with Stephen Goudeau on it, but you might see an evening skirt, or you might see a blazer and an evening gown.
Ooh,
so it's going to show the versatility that I can do.
I got to be honest with you. I love non-traditional to a certain extent. You know what I mean? Like when you just said, let's say a ball gown with a blazer or something like. I love that.
Yes.
That's the kind of,
even a wedding gown with a belt.
Oh yes. Yeah. You talking to me? Look, I love. Cheers, God dang it! Let me tell you, you did it was a dress Or it was more of a pants? Well, you've done the dresses I've seen. My girlfriend, Aisha.
Oh,
You know
that's my
Aisha.
girl. Yeah.
You had Aisha, and she wore, it was white.
That was at the opening of, yes.
Of
she
what?
had the white jumpsuit with the
Yes,
panels.
with the
Yeah.
Loved
Yeah.
it. Loved it. And then she was in another one with some
She just did a wedding gown.
Yeah, and you are amazing. And she wears your stuff well, by the way. So shouts out to her. But yeah, I'm looking at
waiting on you to be a billboard.
I want to. Look, trust me, I need to lose weight though. I'm not as skinny as I need to wear you gotta be skinny. Now but here's the other part. I have a hard time and I'm very top heavy. Okay. People don't realize how I'm a 36 double D. Most people don't realize that. And so certain things they'll put me in, they want me not to wear a bra. And I'm like, these things are heavy.
Yeah. So the first thing I always tell a woman is, the first thing I found the foundation of building your look is going to be your waist. I don't know if you look at my clothing, everything has a waistline, no matter what. And if it doesn't have a waistline, take that SG belt and you snatch it, So you got everything is cut. And I don't care if you're a size 2 or a 22. I'm going to design something that kind of can go around.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I like that because now that's what I do have as a waist. Now I don't have no booty. I don't have anything other than.
Once you find that foundation of that waist, it gives you everything.
It gives you the. I always have loved. I'll be honest with you. I've always loved a woman's physique who has that hourglass figure. Yeah. I think hourglass figures are the sexiest figure ever for a woman. That's just, you know what I mean? Yeah. And it's so. Va-va-va-voom, voluptuous, bombshell. I think
it's a way to be sexy without being revealing.
Yes.
Showing everything.
Just showing your figure,
Yes.
That's what we were talking about when you came in, and I was saying that, for me, a lot of people want to put me, like I've always I want to experiment. Let me put it out there. I want to experiment
as you should.
With fashion. Because I do like it.
And you have the personality for it.
And I love it. Yes. But here's the thing. First of all, I'm a Capricorn. I don't know if you're into astrology. Okay. And I always tell people this about Capricorns. Michelle Obama is a Capricorn, right? And look how she's very classic. Yes. Kate Middleton, who is, about to be queen. Yes. I always say Capricorns are normally kings, queens, and princesses or whatever, and first ladies. But she's very, very straight lace, okay? Another one would be, here's another one, but you could also say Mary J. Blige is a Capricorn. Nicole Murphy, Capricorn. Normally, keep it simple, not too over the top, not necessarily a fashion trendsetter, but likes fashion. Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So it's kind of like a personality. And a lot of people, say for instance, perfect example, Beyonce and Solange, they're both sisters.
Yeah.
They both have different personalities. What Solange can wear, Beyonce can't wear. It's not going to look the same. Solange can get out here and rock, hey.
See, that's what I'm saying. I wish I could do that is what I'm saying. I can't. Right. I want to, but for some reason, I've always stuck with classic pieces. Yeah. And I think the reason why I'm always trying to stay classic and keep it simple is people don't know this, I really am not an attention seeker. I really am not a person who likes attention. I do what I do because it was easy for me to do radio, right?
Well, I guess the way that you can actually test it out, like just say, for instance, I said Solange can wear hay, right? Like say with you being who you are, you're classic, and what I would say is do a hay skirt with a white blazer. That'll
keep it simple. Yeah, you got to put something.
Test it out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I do every now and then I'll try, but I can't go too far. And I've had stylists who will stray me too far away where I'm not even comfortable or it looks.
Let me try it, Deanie.
I want you to. I would love for you to.
No, I'm a designer first, but I actually do image consulting.
Well, then I would love for you to. Can I tell you why? Because again, I love fashion. I love fashion design. I love everything about it. But for me, and here's the other thing, again, it's the attention. So I'm already tall. Like I'm 5'10". If I put on heels, I'm like 6 feet tall, 6'1".
I never knew you was 5'10".
Yeah, I'm 5'10". I put on some heels, I'm 6'1", right? And with big boobs, big personality, a long nose, big nose. I'm just saying, everything about me is already there when I walk in the room. So if I wear something outrageously fashionable, and whatever, now I really got eyes on me. And guess what I'll do? I'll shrink. Yeah. So I shrink because I'm not trying to get no attention. Don't look at me. Please don't look at me. Don't talk to me. Don't look. It's weird, isn't it?
The same way. I don't like attention.
You don't? Okay. I get it. When you said you had to walk out.
Yeah. I don't.
I have to, and I used to tell people, honestly, I have to drink to go out and do host things and stuff. I'm like, oh God, but nobody knows that's really, I'm not really that person. And so you have to, clothes, and I love them, what you do. Like I said, I see my girl Aisha wear, and I'm like, oh my God, that's so great. Yeah. So here we go with you. And one of the things I do like, you said your SG. By the way, you got me a belt. You gave me a belt. and it was a little small. I mean, I think it was a smaller. I think I needed a medium or large.
I think I did give you a small.
Yeah, you saw my waist. You thought maybe she can get into it, but I couldn't.
But sometimes when they try it on, I have to force it on.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh. Make that waist pop.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's the other thing so let's talk about Fashion Week.
Okay.
You're doing it now. How do you get on? How do you get to do Fashion Week? How does that happen?
Fashion Week, basically you are presented as a designer to these production companies, and they take a look at your production. They see if you fit in. If you meet the qualifications. Of course, if you get in, then they trust you enough. Do you get the sponsors behind you? To pay for the show. You build your show. You go. You invite. For the press, the buyers, all the important people who needs to be there. You're not just having people buying tickets. These are the people. This is New York Fashion Week. You want people actually there who are going to look at your collection so you can sell your collection.
Okay.
So with that, it's a big deal. And with me returning for the first time, 10 years. So September 2012 was the first time I showed at Studio 6 Cents. And I always wondered, well, when am I going to return? Of course, I said, hey, this is the perfect time. So my publicist is like, Steven, it's like the return of a dynasty is what she calls it.
Yeah.
But basically, this is my own show. I'm a black male in Times Square at Sony Hall. Showing a 30-piece collection.
Congrats. I'm all excited.
And the thing I like about me, and I don't brag about that, but a lot of people, they tell me, they say, Steven, what you're doing is you're creating your own lane.
Yeah.
You don't see any other black male besides Virgil, rest in peace.
Yep.
I think that when Virgil passed, that made a way for designers of color.
And
especially a male, to come in and do, because you don't really see anyone else doing what Virgil was doing.
Well, but what do you think about Kanye?
That's my boy.
I know it. I got to be honest with you.
But
he makes me mad sometimes, but he is really a genius. That's a genius right there to me.
He's a creative genius. And, he's an artist, so he's expressing himself. And that's what I tell everybody, being an artist, that allows us to express ourselves as artists. Like my collection is called Purgatory.
Ooh, why is it Purgatory?
Explain.
And what color is it?
So, well, the Purgatory, I don't know if you know, so Purgatory is from the Roman Catholic. It's the waiting room between heaven and hell. So what I'm doing is I'm basing it as a mood. So Purgatory is how I'm feeling right now.
Okay.
I'm neither happy nor I'm sad. I'm just like in the middle. I'm here, but it's not good or bad. So, I had a lot of tragedies this year, and also, with Fashion Week, this is a triumph, So it's like in between. So
can I tell you something?
What's that?
I love it. And let me tell you why. All of America and the world is in purgatory right now. Coming in from COVID and what we were in the lockdown and where we are now, when it's almost like a recession, we got wars going on. All of us are wanting to be happy, but we're in between, and this is perfect. And
you picked that up.
I like it, but go ahead.
That's it. So, and then I'm doing it on the most important day in New York. I'm doing it on 9/11.
9/11.
And I'm a spiritual person. So 9/11 is my spiritual numbers. And my whole production is going to tell a whole story of Purgatory. So you're going to see they're letting me do whatever I want to do as far as the stage, the lighting, the production. It's going to be a whole production. So you're really going to feel, and I want the audience to feel the show when they're there. Wow. It's going to be big. I can't, I'm getting
You put a lot of thought into it?
Yeah, it's like any collection I produce, it's where I'm at that time.
Do you write stuff down?
I do. I write, I draw.
Does it come to you? Does it come to you in your sleep? Does it come to you when you're cooking dinner? Or you're in the bathroom? Where does it come to you?
I honestly can be walking down the streets of New York, and I just I get inspired. And I think that's what makes an artist like a real artist.
Yeah. Do you get inspired when you're looking at social media?
It depends.
It's traveling for you then, going to a different scenery.
So music, history, art. Those are the things that really inspire me. I listen to music. My iPod is all over the place. I don't have one genre of music. I have a playlist. I call it Mood. I listen to it every day, and it has many different genres of music. Yeah. And that's what puts me in my.
Were your parents like that, or how'd you get into different music?
You know what? I don't. Well, yeah, they weren't liking the music, because when I play stuff, they're like, "What are you listening to?" But
yeah. My mom was the reason why I asked that, because I often say you would think that I would be more creative with my hands, or wanting to style. I can't. I don't understand it. It's weird, right?
Yeah.
But I love art. I love music, all kind of music like you're talking about. My mom used to do that. My mom used to wake me up when I was a kid and make me watch. There was a show it used to be this lady on CNN, and my mother would make us get up and watch her, a fashion lady. A fashion lady who would tell you about fashion all over the world.
Yeah.
Right? In Milan and this and that. My mother would make us get up and watch it.
That's what makes, so that kind of brings me to a story. So on Sunday nights when I was in elementary school, I actually, I don't know, E-News. So E-News at 12 o'clock, it would turn into what's called the Style Network.
I remember that, the Style Network. I loved it.
My mom used to let me stay up on Sunday nights at 12 to watch the Style Network, and I would see all these designers. And that's when I got a liking for Tom Ford. That was in 91 when he brought Gucci back to life.
I remember when he was at Gucci. I'm telling you, I love fashion. I can tell. I know a lot of the designers, and because again, my mother, I want to say the lady's name was Elsa Clinch. There was some lady, she was an old lady.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. An old lady on CNN, and she would only pop up on the headline news. It would be like 1 or 2 minute thing, and she would talk about Fashion Week and fashion in Milan and this. And my mother would make us watch it because
mom was big in fashion.
Yeah, but she wasn't big in fashion. My mother was a 16-year-old who had children, smart enough, but she always wanted us to be worldly enough to know a lot about a lot of stuff. And she would just wake us up and she'd say, "Watch this, because you're going to end up going places, and you need to know how to dress." She used to say to us, right?
Okay.
And you need to know blah blah blah. So she would put, she would buy, we had Vogue when I was growing up, Cosmopolitan magazine, all the time at our house. And my mother knew how to sew. And she dressed, nice. She dressed well, but she wasn't like a fashionista.
And see, the thing is, with me, I actually got accepted into the New York Fashion Institute. My parents told me I couldn't go.
Why?
Because they said it wasn't a real career, and they said that, they wanted me to play it safe, which I understand now. I get it. And now they're my biggest fans. Like, they root. That's my son, so, and I get it.
Yeah, I think this is so great. It's so cool that you made it.
Yeah. And that's what I want others and, people coming from where, especially Shreveport.
Right.
I want people to know that this is possible. You just got to keep going.
So do you ever do you ever pinch yourself and be like, I can't believe this is happening to me? Like,
all
what
the time. All the time. And then, like, I have, good people around me. They say, "Stephen, you're just chosen. Like, you're really walking in your path."
Yeah. So what's next after Fashion Week? And when you storm Fashion Week this time again, are you going to continue to do it? What if somebody approaches you and they say, "We want you to design for their fashion house"? Would you give up yours?
I wouldn't give up,
but you would still do it.
I would do it. Yeah. And that's what I tell everybody. Like, I just love designing. Like, with the name, that goes to show you I didn't spell my real name. It's Stephen, but it's not Stephen. Like, I don't even want to be famous. I want my work to be, and I always say that. I always say it.
Why? Are you afraid of fame?
I don't need it. I think if you love what you do,
that's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
I feel, honestly, I could do what I do for a living and no one would ever see me and I'd be okay with it. I swear. People do not, but you get what I'm saying. I get what you're saying. When you go, you just enjoy what you do.
Passion. It's your passion.
Yeah, and I just enjoy talking. And
I can tell.
I know, I'm just asking you all, because there's so much I want to ask, and because I just find this to be so great and so fascinating. So one of the things I love is your SG. And when we were talking about the belt earlier, and I'm looking at your pin here, your brooch. Yeah. You sell all of it. Where can people find your you don't have ready to wear, right? Everything is custom?
I do have ready to wear, but it is made to order. But that's what this Fashion Week is getting ready to show, that I'm actually going to start my ready to wear collection.
Really? Wow, that's good. And then what about like some of your accessories and stuff people can get?
From brooches, I know the men was like, "Stephen, we can wear wedding gowns." Well, of course you can. So, I came out with like sets, joggers, also sweatsuits, shirts. So I am going to have a men's line. It just has to be right. I'm an artist, so I'm passionate about what I design. I don't just want to put anything out there. So it's like when I do release my men's collection, it's going to be like something that you can't get anywhere else. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, if you go to Zara or if you go like somewhere to go shopping, it's always going to be something different that you want. Like with my men's collection, when I do come out with it, say if you want a trench coat, the trench coat collar might start right here, but I'm going to have trench coat collars that might go way up here.
Oh, I love it.
Like over the top. Like,
I love it.
Yeah. I love staple pieces. And again, I don't design for trend. I design timeless pieces. So, like, say if you have a dress, and if you look at my gowns, or
they are timeless.
My dresses, timeless. So 10 years from now, I'm going to say, pull out that Stephen Goudeau black dress. I'm going to wear it to this cocktail, this cocktail event. It's kind of like Chanel, and that's why I respect Tom Ford, because he's so classic. He knows his audience.
Yeah, he is.
And I don't see competition. It's like, if I see 3 black gowns in Saks Fifth Avenue, I know my client is going to come to get a Stephen Goudeau or over a Tom Ford or a Versace. It's going to be, I don't see competition because I'm an artist and I design for my client. I know.
What would be the difference in your black dress and theirs? Why would your client come to you?
Well, I would say, I know when I design, I design for the figure of a woman.
That's what I was getting ready to say.
Compliment a woman.
See,
so you're going to see the shape of that dress and the structure of that dress. You're going to say, oh, that's a Stephen Goudeau.
You want to know why I wanted to see if I knew it? Let me tell you why. Because when we first sat down and you said, and I was saying how I like the shape, that hourglass figure, and you talked about always wanting to have that belt and pulling in that waist and showing that's what makes me go, then I'm going to go get a Stephen Goudeau then. Because what I want to do is show off that figure, right? Because I think it's just the most beautiful silhouette. I really do. Yeah. I do. And the fact that you, as a man, tapped into it, because sometimes you will try on stuff. You're like, what are they thinking? This is not doing nothing for my body.
A lot of women don't know their waistline, you know, and they can't find it. Sometimes they way under here and you have the muffin top. Yeah. You know, sometimes,
Thank God. Will you be designing some Spanx? I'm like, come on.
But that's why I like, and if you go inside of my garments, they actually have structure in them. So I have a lot of boning in my pieces, like to make that stands.
Yeah. So when are you going to do your ready to wear? Because like the ones that you do, I'm going to be honest, like they're very expensive, right? What you do now.
What you call expensive, DeDe?
Thousands.
I mean, like, but
that's a lot of money.
So ready to wear, I mean, it just.
And guess what? Let me tell you what. And I like ready to wear. Let me tell you the reason why I say that. And that's the other thing. People probably look at me and go, she'll go into, I'll go into Forever 21s. I'll go anywhere to find wherever I can. And most of the time, people never know it's the most cheapest stuff I wear. Because you want to know why? It's very rarely that I'm going to wear it twice. Yeah. And people aren't wearing things as many times.
And that's what I say when people.
But yours is classic.
But you got different, like staples. You buy staple pieces. Like if you go buy a blazer and say you paid $2,200 for a blazer and it's a Balmain, you know that Balmain blazer 10 years from now is still going to be, it's an investment. That's
true.
I look at it as an investment. Now when people buy for names, just because this is Gucci or, it's a difference. Yeah. It's a difference.
Like I want you to know, these are the first sandals I've ever bought that were designer. Ever. Yeah. I swear to God. These little, and that's a classic. It's nothing like trend. You know, you can wear that anytime. Yeah. And you're right. If I'm going to spend that kind of money, I'm not going to spend money on a trend.
Yeah, you know how Gucci will come out with shoes and they'll be like, oh, I want those Gucci shoes. Like these I have on the Balenciaga. I think these are the Balenciaga Triple S. I think they're gonna
always be.
And the price went up on them, you know? So I think they're always.
Aren't those like thousands?
Yeah, 11.
Jesus.
Yeah. But I have a Zara blazer on.
Well, that's good. Okay. But you know what? It's so crazy. I would have never known. But see, I'm not even a sneaker person, so I wouldn't have known.
Yeah, but I think shoes, like I think if someone wears, like say if you wear like Forever 21, like this might be Forever 21 you got on, but you have on those Easting around.
Right.
You know.
Everything is. Yeah. Everything I got on except for these. But let me tell you what's so great about you. That's when you know you got money. When you spend that kind of money on sneakers. And then here's the other thing. You're so inconspicuous with it too because they're not blasting all over the side. See, I'm one of the kind of people go, if I'm going to spend that much money, I want that name splashed all over it. Yeah. Yeah. You know how we do? Now, if we're going to spend that money, yeah. But I want to tell you something. I'm ashamed of myself right now.
Why?
Because I should be wearing your fashion. I should have something on right now from you. And every African-American woman listening, watching this podcast needs to go out and support. I should not be wearing Yves Saint Laurent. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We need to start supporting our own. And I think that you know what? I'm going to make a prediction. I'm going to tell you something. After this fashion week that you're getting ready to do in New York, I think I'm probably not going to be able to have a conversation with you anymore. They're all going to be on you. No. They're going to be on you.
No.
They are.
That's one thing about Stephen Goudeau, and you've asked anybody I know, even where I'm at now, like I'm humble. Yeah. I'm humble. And I remain humble because I don't forget where I come from.
Now, Stephen, I told you I'm not going to keep you too long. Let me double check because I always tell people I try not to keep y'all too long in here for my podcast. But 28 minutes. I'm sitting here talking to you, and I'm like,
don't seem like that long.
I know it, but because you're so interesting, and I'm so proud of you. So now, you've been planning the fashion week. You have a lot of interviews and things like that. You said going when you get to New York.
I was excited when I came to you.
Thank you.
I really was. I'm glad you had me finally.
Yeah. Be quiet. When do you go to New York for Fashion Week?
So I fly out on the 6th, Tuesday. Okay. So I'm going to be there for the entire Fashion Week.
Are you going to anybody else's shows or no?
So I was invited to a few. My team, they have like my itinerary lined up. I don't know exactly who I'm going to, but I will be busy.
Okay. And you did the set and everything, or somebody else is doing that for you?
So I have my cousin. She has Mid-City Decor, so she's actually doing my staging.
Good. Yeah, I met her. We did. I talked to her. I love her.
Yeah. So she saw my vision as Purgatory, and she's making it come to life for me. So I'm excited.
The fact that you even said purgatory and you have to think like that, you know what I mean? What did you think of, real quick, before I let you go, what did you think of Halston, the movie? I mean, the miniseries?
I think it was, it got in depth to his life. I actually didn't know Halston's life and everything he went through, but I think it does show the struggle as an artist, any artist, I don't care if you're a designer or what, of, standing for your brand. He did not want to sell he didn't want to sell his brand. And that's me. Even though it took me longer than it would take somebody
else or another. Yeah.
I never gave up because my brand is like my baby. I know what I want for my brand. And I've turned down a lot of celebrities like who wanted to wear my stuff. Oh, I can get you exposure. Like I don't care about that because this is why this is my blood, sweat, and tears. So I felt that he stood for his brand, even though he had no choice. He sold out. In the money, but I never sold out on my brand. That's how I look at it.
Was there some lessons you took from that? Because here was a story about a man, Halston, big name, and then he sells, and then he didn't even have the ownership of his name.
Exactly. That's
right?
what I'm saying.
Like that's great. And can I tell you, it's so interesting because as people make it in any business that their name is out there like that, you got to have ownership of your name.
Back in 2016, 2017, I had investors come to me and say, hey, Steven, I'll buy, they wanted like ownership, like a big percentage of it.
Wow.
And I was like, no. I said, because I tell everybody, if I did fashion for money, I would have been quit.
Yeah.
This is my passion. This is my heart. So, yeah.
Steven, I'm just like, okay. So listen, if somebody's listening to the podcast right now, let them know how to find you online, how they can buy anything you have, your clothes and everything else.
Yeah, Steven Goudeau. It's STEPHEN Goudeau. It's on Instagram. You can Google me.
Yep, I like it. Come on now, Google me.
But you can visit the website, StevenGoudeau.com. I have a number of things. I have things for men now. Brides, if you need a custom wedding gown, if you don't want to be like the rest, if you don't want to be traditional, I'm definitely that designer to come to.
Mm-hmm. By the way, what do you think the trends are going to be next year? What are the trends coming up in the next few years for women and fashion? What do you think?
Well, Dee, I say I don't design for trends, so I can't watch it, but I don't know. Is
there a trend?
Black.
Yeah, black is
black. I mean, that's my favorite color. What's yours?
Well, really, my favorite color is orange.
Okay.
Like I love orange. It makes me happy.
Okay.
Right. But I don't really have a favorite color or anything. I told you I'm just a classic dresser. I'm gonna keep it simple and try to show off my figure. That's the best thing I got.
Yeah. That's a good question. What do I see coming in the next year's?
It doesn't seem like, for a while, and I'm going to tell you what happens, and I'm glad it's starting to change, I think, but it felt like everybody was dressing alike, right? And I think now everybody is starting, and then people were going with the trends and throwing out clothes and things, and now I think everybody's understanding individual style matters.
So can I say this? Mm. So you know how you asked me, do I get inspiration from social media? Mm. That goes to show you, I don't even look at other designers like pieces. I don't even like watch other shows. Like if it comes across, I'll watch it. Like if the new Tom, like I'm a Tom Ford fan.
Right.
If Tom Ford comes or Versace comes, Balenciaga, I'll watch those shows because they're innovators. So I watch those, but I guess when I come with collections, like I just come out my mind. Like my first ready to wear collection that I did at New York Fashion Week was called Eat Cake. I was obsessed with the life of Marie Antoinette.
I was just getting ready to say, it had to be Marie Antoinette. I love it.
I took stuff that was worn back then and I made it contemporary. Like I made it, currently where you can wear it now.
Okay. And so you said do you go to museums a lot too? Do you get inspiration there and stuff like that?
I do.
All right. Who do you think is the most stylish woman today in the world, in the entertainment world or whatever? Who do you think is like name 3 of the top stylish women that you see and know?
3, I would say, I'm going to have to give it to Solange. Solange is number 1 because Solange can wear anything and confident.
Can I tell you, I can't believe you keep mentioning her because let me tell you why. They all used to laugh at me at the radio station because I like her and I liked her album. And I told everybody her albums that she had. And I said it was interesting because she went into a lane and kind of Beyonce started getting kind of into the lane eventually.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, right. But I think she's such a trendsetter and such her own, she had to find her own lane in the shadow of this sister who's so huge, but I agree.
Beyonce says she turns to her for a lot.
I can see it.
Yeah.
I see it. Beyonce to me never looks like her fashion is her. Her fashion looks like somebody put it in. Now Rihanna wears fashion that it feels like it's her.
Yeah. That's number 2.
Yeah.
They go out and wear anything and feel confident about it.
Yep. I love it. And they don't try to go with the trend. They just do them.
Right.
Who else? Who else would you say?
Ooh, number 3. That's kind of hard, DeDe.
I love that. You and I see it. I see what you see, and I'm going, wow.
Who is number 3 like right now?
Because who wears it? You know what I mean? Who can wear fashion well enough that... Now, I'm going to tell you who.
I like, me personally, I like Cardi B. I think,
Cardi B?
What's his style? Colin
Carter, somebody calling K-O-L.
I think he does well. I don't know if he's still styling her, but he does well. And of course,
Luxury Law.
With Zendaya.
Yeah.
You know, she was one of my clients.
Was she?
Yeah.
I was just talking about her on something, and I said, everybody gives her credit for being, the fashion. I go, well, you give it to her designer, everybody. Can we stop? And not to take from her, but I'm just saying, there was one who I liked, and I remember she used to not have a stylist. I don't know if she does now. And when I see her, when she promotes a movie, and I don't know if you know her, the white girl named Blake Lively.
Oh, yeah. Love Blake.
God.
What was the movie? Well, she was she lived with the man and the two men.
Yes. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I love Blake Lively.
And then she did
Gossip
another
Girls.
Gossip. Okay.
Yeah,
did you ever see the movie where she first of all, The Age of Adeline, of course, she was dressing where she was old. She never got old. She never got old. But she did another one where she has a best friend, she's married to a guy, and she fakes her death. Her fashion in that movie is ridiculous.
I know what you're talking about.
But for a long time, she didn't have a stylist. And I said, why isn't nobody paying attention that this girl really has style, because she's not asking nobody to dress her?
You know what? And funny that you say that. So I did want her on my one of my rosters. I did want to dress
Blake Lively. I swear, I just think her fashion, and it's always...
And she has sex appeal. It's just kind of like almost...
It's like understated.
It's almost like a tomboy.
Right.
Yeah, but she's glamorous.
But when you really look at her, you go, what did she just... That looks good. That looks great. That looks... Jennifer Lopez, no?
Yeah, but again...
Trendy?
She has a team behind. I don't think that it's natural.
I don't either.
Yeah.
Rihanna feels natural. Solange feels natural. Blake Lively, when I see her, feels natural. Who else would you say feels natural when you go, they're not... Kim and them, the whole Kardashian family, I can tell everybody is dressed in there.
Everybody.
Yeah, they're good. They're somebody put something on them. They might as well go buy the mannequin.
The model girl, I don't think that she's... I think she just...
She has it.
Yeah.
But who else could you say? I'll tell you who I like, and this is in the classic form. Meghan Markle. In the classic form of dressing.
Yeah.
I think that she, when she went into the royal family, she changed even the way Kate Middleton was dressing.
To me, she's like Michelle. I mean, she's like Michelle Obama.
Classic. But she has to be, because,
it looks good. Like,
right, but it still has an edge, and it didn't look as boring.
It's sexiness, but it's still...
Yeah, she's one of my favorites. When I watch her, I go, oh my God, I just love when she goes to the royal family.
Put me on the spot. I really don't... There's nobody in the game right now that's doing it.
Wow. See, I can talk to you about this stuff. See, I know you're like, I didn't know DeDe likes it like that. Because I do pay attention. I just can't seem to wear it myself. Yeah. I don't know what. We'll see. All right. Well, listen, again, give everybody all your information. Let's plug. And let's end the podcast.
So Instagram, Stephen Goudeau, STEPHEN. Facebook, Stephen Goudeau, STEPHEN. Website, StephenGoudeau.com.
And how you spell Goudeau?
GOUDEAU.
That's your real name.
It's my real name. I didn't pay for it. Well, I own it, but I didn't pay for it.
I love it. Shouts out to the parents for that one. All right, everybody. It's DeDe's Dope Podcast, of course. You know what? And we always highlight small and Black-owned businesses on the show as well. If you want to be on the show, everybody, hit me up at DeDe's Dope Podcast. Talk to you next week.
What's the vibe? What's the hype? Yeah, we live. Talk a little this, a little bit of that, a little bit of love, a little bit of ratchet. That's DeDe. Go DeDe. Go DeDe. Go DeDe. You a bad bitch. You a savage. Making money is a habit.